The crowd was up for it. The players were up for it. And on a 3-day turnaround from midweek, considering those energy levels for everyone was bang up for it.
Yeah, it's remarkable, and even the subs that come on, because there were some big changes that had to be made during the game, and that's where sometimes you have a little bit of a panic, because it might disrupt the way you're playing, it might disrupt the solutions that have been mapped out. But credit to every single player that was involved today, and I mean that, coming on literally for minutes. Buendia stepping up, Sancho played a part at certain stage. There were some really, really good performances today all over the pitch, and it was a joy to be a part of and watch today. And I mean, like you said, Kate, the atmosphere here, that is what it's all about, and that's what we strive for, because being a top team, that's what it needs. It needs everyone backing you, and that's what we had today, every single person backing us.
We said you were going to draft in for the big one. You were drafted in for a big one, but I don't think even we were anticipating it being this good. Because, Alan, you throw back to this fixture last year, it was the first home game of the season, and Villa felt very unlucky, but was so proud in defeat for that fixture because of not taking chances. Even in the space of a year, on the back of a tricky summer, how fortunes have changed again. The belief has to be there now.
Yeah, well, I don't think the belief's not been there particularly. It's just very early to get too excited about it. But everybody says that Arsenal have already won the title after all, because they've been playing so well. They've been literally, I don't know, indestructible almost as an Arsenal Football Club. They had some notable absences from their team today, but nevertheless, that's beside the point. And I think Mikel Arteta realised how good the Aston Villa team have come in a year's time, to be quite honest with you. But in terms of us, by the way, the man that I don't care what MD says, and I'm telling you, Yuri Tielemans in the middle of the park today was absolutely ridiculously unbelievable. And Kashi gets his goal. What did we talk about today? Full-backs areas, they've got to get. You've got to trap the back post, scores a goal. Unbelievable. Just fantastic. Remembering where you've got to be. Remembering how we want to play. And even Ollie Watkins he worked his tail off for 65 minutes to try and make sure when it gets to this position, we've got an opportunity, because there might be chances. And just for that, the sun comes out to shine on Alan McInerney.
Oh, I'm sure that's exactly what it is.
It would do.
To show itself at Villa Park. Yeah, that's a lot brighter now.
Yes. But in terms of the way our character showed, because I think Lee was spot on just a moment ago. We were absolutely on the ropes for the first 15 minutes of the second half, and I was really thinking, just try and get the ball forward and try and hold up as much as we can, try and get the ball away from the edge of our box, and eventually we come back into the game, and we started to create and control the game again. I thought it was as good as we've been. I said it was the best result we've had this season, the 4-3 down at Brighton, because of the away game. But that there was absolutely astoundingly brilliant against a team that everybody thinks is going to win the league.
It's just getting better and better. Should we take it right back to the start? Because, Lee, we were discussing this and we talk about Yuri Tielemans, and we were saying, OK, he's going to be playing in the number 10 position. We know he's fantastic wherever he plays across the park. However, does it really get the most out of him playing him that far upfield rather than that bit deeper for him to use his technical attributes with his just creating the play in front of him? However, he was very good in that position, still with his technicalities.
Yeah, he was. And I think, listen, he played in a bit more of a 10 and a bit more advanced role, but when he had to drop back and sit in and be that person who could get on the ball, and maybe just that's when I said the two subs went off, and it was Onana and McGinn, and I thought, I was a bit concerned because that physicality that sometimes we miss. But do you know what? We had two technical players drop back in there and go, right, and how it changed because he got on the ball. He wanted to control, which he does so well. And as Al said, I think in really tight areas today, he received the ball, which attracted 2-3 players, which maybe got us on the front foot and made us perform. And listen, not always playing in a 10 is the one that goes and sort of creates them little opportunities. Sometimes it's about drawing players into you, which creates space for other players to go into, and that's having a clever and being an all-round number 10, which I'm not saying he's an out-and-out 10. I much prefer him playing in a deeper role because he's such a technical, gifted passer of the ball. But he can play anywhere in that midfield because he's just got a real clever football brain.
There was just times where he was exceptionally good, knowing the game the way it was going. Because Morgan Rogers was brilliant today as well. He was very, very good and ran his socks off, as everybody did, to be honest. But there's just a little bit that Yuri Tielemans has in terms of when the game's close, when the game's tight, when he's aware of situations and where players are. You know, his footballing brain kicks in just like, he's just so good. He's just so good. Even just a 2-yard pass to the side that would release somebody. He was brilliant today. It was a great day. Listen, we said it would be a great day. Didn't realise it was going to be this good.
I know. And do you know what? You just thought about Morgan. I mean, it was, if you think the late on in the first half, where you just think, you just run it in the corner, we're 1-0 up, and he does something magical here, tricky, and I'm thinking, wow, we could go 2-0 up here. And it was, as Al says, you know, there was some really standout performers today when needed in good times of the game, and even obviously off the bench where we got the winner.
Can you imagine you and I had played in the game, and immediately in my head I'm just trying to go through the game just through my head really quickly, and I'm like, it's a valuable lesson the first 15 minutes of the second half.
Oh yeah, millions.
Do you know what I mean? We're like, okay, we weren't complacent, but we certainly weren't in terms of competitive and showed enough character the way we did in the first half, because we came out and we're like, it'll be the same. It's never the same. He makes 2 changes at half-time, Arteta, brings on Trossard. Eze is forgotten about in a heartbeat, and Trossard has 3 chances before he sticks it in the net, as in 3 good chances. One into the goalkeeper's arms, one pass literally past the post, and the next one he sticks in the net. And obviously with Saka just wriggling free on the touchline. So it's a valuable lesson that things like that can happen in football really quickly. But you've got to take a deep breath, get the ball, get possession back, and change it back into your fortune. That's exactly what the lads did.
There was a big moment in the game when I said to you, Kate, is that when Saka got his yellow card, which possibly shouldn't have got it yet, because it was a real dubious. He actually got the ball. But there was a moment after that where he went through there, and Emi came out, and he left a little bit on him.
So he did. I said that was naughty.
He left a bit on him, but that's when the thought process goes to the manager, and then all of a sudden, I said to you, Saka will be off. And you know what? Saka going off was even better for us, and that's credit to the goalkeeper, because he knew exactly what he was doing. You know, he read the challenge, and little clever moments like that's why we touched on having Emi back in goal. You don't realise how important he is, not just as a goalkeeper, but his mentality throughout a football match is absolutely outstanding.
I thought the referee was a bit cruel on us a couple of times in the first half.
I mean, he let everything go for about the first 20 minutes.
I didn't really want to mention him today, but something else that's happened in the game, and I was like, hey, hang on a minute. Big Onana winning the ball really aggressively, winning the ball easily, giving a foul against him. And he did the same against Yuri Tielemans as well, just straight after that, and then let a couple for Arsenal go, and I thought, hey, hang on a minute, there's 2 teams here, let's be genuinely fair about the whole thing. and I'm being biased. I'm sure that if you said to the referee right now, he'd be like, I see it differently, Al. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But when we're at home and we're a team and you need some aggression, you know, like even Mikel Arteta would expect a little aggression from the likes of Rice, etc., in the middle of the park for him. So at times there was a little spell where we went through where we thought we were a little getting hard done by, you know, and we came through that. Like, character building today was huge for us. As a player, with the games that's going to be coming up, you can look back on that and get a second wind, and know that we have something maybe a little bit special that even we didn't realise before the game that's actually is here right at the moment in time.
We haven't even discussed Cash's goal yet. Matty Cash's goal, what a take!
I'm going to say it was miss-hit.
Clearance. There you go. He's absolutely.
By the way, he absolutely nailed it. But again, I talk about trapping the back post as a fullback. When the ball's in that side, you're in play. Regardless of what's happened, it's in play. Because if everybody misses it, I'm going to be trapping the back post, and it was absolutely perfect. To be fair, he's a good goalkeeper, Rhea, by the way. Very good goalkeeper, and could do nothing about it. So, well done, Matty Cash.
But that was it, because Lee, you mentioned it, and Alan did as well beforehand, how key the fullbacks were going to be today, and that's where some of the key battles were going to be today. For Matty to be that progressive once again, and of course that's probably why we saw Ian Matson coming into the fray as well, for that extra progression. But for Matty to once again, as we've seen time and time again already this season, to be right place, right time, take his shots, be clinical, have the confidence as well, because he's been in such good goal-scoring form the last few months, to take that.
He has, and he's been so important. I think in that system we play today, I says that we're playing a lot of central midfielders in the starting line meant that we probably would be a little bit compact in there, which we was at times. And I know that John McGinn maybe might force us out wide, go out wide himself a little bit, but you could see where there was going to be an opportunity for one of them fullbacks with pace to get forward and quality. Because, by the way, Cashy scored a great goal and had a great opportunity before that where Declan Rice got one right in the chest, which, you know, you felt that could have been a possibility. But I felt Maatsen was very good today as well. I really did. He had a big job on his hands today looking after Saka on that right hand side, and he did it when he had to do. And when he got forward, he burst out. He had some really nice touches. He is growing and growing in an Aston Villa shirt and showing why they brought him to the football club. And the way we played today suited the two fullbacks, and it was a magnificent performance all round.
There was a part, I think it was just towards the end of the first half, where Maatsen's ran 70 yards, and I'm saying, go on.
And he almost got...
If nobody wants to tackle you and there's real estate in front of you, you run into that real estate, because eventually you'll get an opportunity and you never know. And I think we got a corner or something, or the ball might have went to Morgan Rogers or something, and then we managed to keep possession, and it was a good finish for the half. That's not the reason why we didn't play well in the first 15 minutes of the second half. It was more maybe the attitude of Arsenal and the fact that he made 2 changes and brings Trossard in. I spoke about Trossard ages ago. I thought when he was available, I thought we should have tried to get him Trossard. I'd have been delighted with Trossard at this football club, and he certainly gave them something different. But in terms of the whole 90 odd minutes, I think we deserved that. I know we scored late on and it's a blockbuster and we're all absolutely buzzing about it, but there's no question that we didn't deserve something at the game today.
As we're being currently joined by some of the runners then for the subs from Villa at the minute. So if you see any running around in the background, then you know exactly what that is. But that's it though, isn't it? When it's almost like a game of poker, it's almost who blinks first. When we saw the setup, and it was a bold setup for our fullbacks, when you've got Ian Maatsen, you've got Matty Cash, who you know are going to be bombing forwards, have got the confidence to bomb forwards as well. But when they're defensively having to mark Eze and Saka, two of the best players in the Premier League, it is almost a case of playing to your own strengths rather than trying to adapt to the opposition team. And some manager, I can't remember who it was for the life of me, said that recently, that you're never going to beat a team if you try and play to combat them. We saw that even with Spurs against Arsenal a few weeks ago. They set up for Arsenal, essentially. We didn't do that.
No, well, we spoke about it briefly, didn't we? We spoke about Brentford. I thought I played quite defensively and tried to hit on the break. We're at home, 42,800 people here, for God's sakes. We're not going to try just to try and keep them at arm's length. That's not the way we play. And we've already said a couple of times, we have goals in us. We have a real threat in us now, and we play that way as if we have that threat. And we spoke about it, and we got it spot on, which is very good for us, if you know what I mean, in terms of fullbacks are going to be important today because of the two people that we're up against. That was important. But in terms of here he comes.
So we're going to welcome in our match winner, Buendia is coming in. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us. How's the mood in the dressing room?
To be fair, I don't know, because they grabbed me straight to...
Oh, fair enough. You don't get to join in the fun, you have to come speak to us.
I'm just only answering questions. So.
That's one of the things when you're a match winner. Unfortunately, you've got to do all of the media side of it. But for you, the elation, the finish, the cool and the calm that you had to have to put that chance away, what are you thinking in that moment?
No, I just was trying to stay aware of any chance in the box, fighting for every ball. I had one just 2 seconds before because they block, and then I get the rebound, try to pass to Buba. They block as well, so yeah, the ball was there. I tried to stand up quickly. I see some space, and I'm really happy.
You know, when the ball's bouncing about, as a player, you're like, please come to me. Just please come to me. So when it's coming to you, you must have thought, oh yeah, please.
Yeah, definitely, and also trying to be there to have the chance, because I always thinking if I not get the box, I don't have the chance. So I think I look myself to be there. So
remember 5 weeks ago I told you, I said, come on, he
knows everything.
You have the opportunity. I want to see you shoot. I want to see you shoot, and I want to see you score. Since then, there's been free kicks. There's been a winner against Arsenal. No problem.
True. Yes. No, like I said, I'm really happy also to scoring the last minutes here at home with the whole 10 behind.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
How good do you feel this season? I mean, I've watched you at I literally watched you at Norwich come into, and I thought you was when we signed you, I was over the moon. And I've watched you progress. I've watched you obviously get injured, but how good do you feel at this moment in time? You look absolutely incredible, and you're showing now that what a player you are.
No, firstly, it's just I've been working so hard to have reached the reward. I think because after the injury it was really tough moments for myself. So I tried to keep going, to keep believing in myself. I knew I could help the team in this moment. So yeah, I've been working so hard. I keep working, trying to get the minutes I have, trying to help. Like the manager asked before to come on, is to bring energy, to try to put the passion in the game. So it's what it is. Today I could help with a goal, but if not, to put some work for the team.
Was you disappointed not starting today, obviously?
Sorry?
Was you disappointed not starting?
Yeah, no, of course. I think as a player, everyone wants to play this kind of games. It's against a good teams. It's a really beautiful game to play. But I was focusing, like I said, to try to come on and help the team. It was today 5+ extra time. So
Felicidades, felicidades.
You made my day anyway today.
Oh, Emmy, thank you so much. You've got a whole load of media commitments, so we're going to let you go. But thank you so much again, and best of luck for the remaining games as well. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Emmy
Tom.
Buendia. Great to speak to him for the first time. I've got to speak to him there. But how key he has been throughout this season. And of course, we weren't entirely sure whether or not he was going to even be here this season after the loan spell halfway through last season. And to get him back, to get him playing at his absolute best. And you mentioned the injury there. What was it, an ACL injury for him to come back from that and to be playing at this level?
Yeah, it's a big injury, isn't it, to come back from? ACLs are massive. We've seen so many players go through situations where it's reoccurred, and it's getting it right, it's balancing, it's making sure that you get the right treatment and you time it well, where you're not trying to be aggressive to get back. And credit to him. I say that not just because he was here, but as I said, I've watched him progress as a player, and I've always thought he had so much ability, which he still has. And credit to his testament that having an injury like that, going away and trying to recoup, trying to get that form, trying to get that belief back, is a massive, massive hard place to put yourself into. So credit to him, because he was almost walking out the door, by the way, and he obviously said to the manager, I want to stay, I want to fight for my place, which is brilliant to see, because that just shows how much hunger and desire. And that's why I said to him, was you disappointed about being on the bench? And I'd just like to see how people are, and you can tell he's a hungry man, and he came on, he did exactly what the manager asked, energy, fight, he was winning headers. I mean, for the moments he came on, he brought a spark, and that's what you want from his substitute. So credit to him, and credit to what he's done since he's got himself back to the Emmy Buendia that we brought to the football club.
And that's it, though, isn't it? It's because he's almost like a pit bull out there. You just let him go because, of course, physically wise, he wouldn't be the most imposing individual as such. However, when you need either, we talked about him previously about when we play against teams who come here and just sit in a low block, that he's very good at being able to work his way through. Absolutely. However, up against teams that are more expansive, that play probably that more higher caliber level of football, again, he's still able to play just as well.
It's pretty vital for us in terms like that, because you get players that can unlock something for you. I mean, I'm laughing and joking there, because we were at the training ground. He was in the treatment room, and I was like, "What's wrong with you?" He went, "No, nothing." And I went, "Come on, hey, let's go. Come on, we're going." And we're talking about football back in the day, and about not necessarily nothing about the manager said, but just in terms of competition for places is difficult now. And I'm saying, well, you're at Aston Villa. There has to be competition for places, and it's down to you, your character, something inside you is going to drive you to get into this team. And Pau Torres was there, and we had a bit of a laugh and stuff, and all the guys were in great form. And since that, 5 or 6 weeks, the guys have taken off. They've won nearly every game, and it it ends up for Emmy Buendia. When he sits down in the living room tonight, is going to be like, wow, what an end to what an end to the football match, and he's played his part for Aston Villa again.
Because, of course, we talk about starters and finishers, to coin a rugby term, Lee. And it's very much a squad game. We see that with a 3-day turnaround from Brighton midweek, all of the European games that Villa have got to contend with, and then to come and face the league leaders who will, maybe they will have a better opportunity in the future and keep building on this to win a title. But all eyes are on them at present to go and win the title because of other teams faltering. So to beat them here in the manner that Villa managed to is maybe quite demoralising.
Well, do you know what, Kate? I mean, if that would have ended up being a draw, that would have been good for the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would have been good for the Premier League. You know what's been even better for the Premier League is that we've took all 3 points. We're sitting second in the table, and it's made it even better for the Premier League because it's put more pressure on Arsenal. It's put more pressure on Liverpool. It's put more pressure on Chelsea, Man City to go and win their games to try and catch. Because let's be quite honest about it. We are the outsiders in that group.
Yeah.
There's no doubt of that. There's no doubt of that. We haven't spent the sorts of money that these football clubs have spent. So that's where we have done outrageously brilliant. And long may it continue, by the way, because we've got quality here and we've got a good togetherness. Some of them sides have brought players in that hasn't worked. You know, connections, not quite worked. Liverpool spent fortunes, certainly not worked.
Yeah.
So these teams are certainly beatable, and we proved that. We beat Manchester City. We beat Arsenal again.
Bournemouth
These
were
are
right
the
up there. They were second at one point in
These
the
are the top. These are the top sides.
Well, we mentioned it briefly about us not really speaking about us particularly in terms of winning a league title, but certainly in terms of if you watch the game now, there'll be a lot of people going, well, hang on a minute. Yeah, well, maybe Villa are in the not so much in the title talk, but the way even Lee's speaking there. It's about the character the boys have shown. And when you get to somewhere like second, getting there's the easy bit, staying there's the hard bit. So there's lots of hard work to go, but I don't see anybody shirking their responsibility here at Villa Park.
Well, the pressure would only come here at Villa Park is if we end up being top of the league after Christmas and we're 6 points clear.
Yeah.
Because that's where people start to really think, right, the back end of the season, business end of the season, how much pressure can they handle? And that's where it all comes down to, because basically the top sides are expected, Arsenal expected to win the league. I expected Arsenal to win the league, I'm not going to lie.
Run away with it, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's not been the case. And it seems to be that teams are beatable. And that's proved that today, yet again, in the way we've set up. I think the way that Unai set us up today, he's got different game plans, which has really caught my eye this season from the bad start we had, that he's had to identify where it wasn't quite working for us, which he has done. And that's what's given us a massive platform to now go at.
If we hadn't started the bad start of the season, we'd be 10 points clear.
Oh, we gave everyone a 5-game lead.
pressure.
Goodness me, I know. Could you imagine if we actually started in this manner? It's so bizarre. And again, we spoke about it in our pre-match show. The fact that Villa was so under the radar, perhaps because of the £31 million spend over the summer, the lowest in the Premier League in comparison to the literal embarrassment of riches that the likes of Arsenal have.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's why also with the basically 5-game advantage that Villa gave. But the turnaround, Alan, has just been, is it just pure belief? What do you attribute it to?
Well, I think
now?
it's belief in yourself as a player, but belief in each other, because you can't do it on your own. But I think I don't think there's any, and I've spoken about this before, the majority of times when you watch a football team, it's a reflection of the manager. Now, the manager is meticulous. If he thinks you should stand 2 centimetres to the right, that's where you stand. You don't stand here. And he knows how he wants to play, and the guys are all into it. You see the way we play. We're playing much better. The movements. But I'll tell you what we did today. Was when the ball was on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, it was moving the ball quicker from one side to the other. It was 1 and 2 touches. It wasn't one touch, take a touch, and then the space is gone. So if you're going to move the ball quicker the way the manager wants to do it, you need to take less touches, you need to move the ball quicker, which then makes the opposition have to work even harder. They were on by the way, I know we were flat on our feet as well, but Arsenal were breathing heavy too, by the way.
Yeah.
They were breathing unbelievably heavy today, and that's how we managed to probably nick it, in terms of they couldn't clear the danger. But I think you're a reflection of the manager, and that's why and how we've done so well. The man's a genius. He walks, I mean, even right now he's probably like, right, okay, I'll do the press conference, we'll bag that, we play Basel on Thursday night, because that's how much important. And incidentally, we're coming into this period of Christmas and New Year where there will be some weird results.
Yeah, there always
weird
are.
results, but we've put ourselves in a position where, like the wee man said, it'd be lovely to be, you know, when we get into, I don't know, let's just say towards the end of January, we're sitting in exactly the same position.
Because, of course, the 3 p.m. kickoffs have literally just kicked off
Oh,
now.
yeah,
so
of
if
course.
Sunderland could do us a bit of a turn away at Man City, which, given how well Sunderland have done so far this season, isn't out of the question, because Man City, they still don't look overly convincing.
Well, that was the game I've looked at, to be fair. I mean, obviously you're looking at teams in and around you and you think, where could there be an upset? And Sunderland being exactly that. They've proved that they can go to places and and stand up and be counted for, and probably a surprise package coming out of the Championship. But their recruitment's been good. They work hard. They're a hard working side. They travel well, which is always a good thing, isn't it? So you know, you're looking at the fixtures today and you're hoping maybe that might be one where it's not going to be a walk in the park for City at all, because Sunderland will give them every single bit of energy that they have in their system to try and take something away from them.
Aston Villa have helped everybody today, and I include Sunderland in that thing, because Man City fans would have bought more beer supporting Aston Villa watching the end of the game, regardless of doing City a favour.
I said this game today would have been probably one of the most watched game, I would have said, because of so many reasons, because of the situation, the timing of the season, and where the two teams are standing at the moment, and knowing what to expect from this Aston Villa side up against potential champions that you see in Arsenal that everybody's talking highly about.
And it's that consistency as well, because you look at the league as it currently stands. Of course, Chelsea have just kicked off at Bournemouth as well, and now they are 6 points away from Villa with the game in hand. But it just sets the pressure. And when you've got such a young team like the likes of Chelsea, who maybe lack that experience, lack that cohesion and that consistency, laying down a marker does set the tone.
Oh yeah, and by the way, going to Bournemouth is not easy. They're another team that will take a lot of points off. By the way, I wouldn't even be surprised if Bournemouth get something out of the game today, and I'm not.
It's hoping.
Yeah, genuinely, because it's one of them where, you know, Chelsea have just come off a bit of a spanking 3-1 at Leeds United, and then they've got to go another away game. And we talk about some of the young players that Chelsea have. They're a very good team, Chelsea, after all. But nevertheless, there does bring that little bit of pressure when you're sitting in the bus and you see Villa have just won 2-1, and you're like, right, we need to get our finger out today, because we need to make sure we don't fall behind Aston Villa. So listen, the result for this football club has been phenomenally fabulous. They deserved the 3 points today because we were fantastic, and we finished the game just as strong as Arsenal did, except we took our chances, you know, better than they did, and that's just something they'll have to deal with.
Right, lads, we're going to round off with your man of the match.
Oh. Who said 2-1? Who said 2-1?
Oh, well
did
done.
I? Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
1-0.
Nice of you to bring it up.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Not quite the goal scorers.
No.
However, we'll take it. All
I
the
think
same.
I said
Giving
Cash.
the points to that.
I'm sure I said Cash.
I'm sure I said Cash and Buendia, yeah.
He did.
Right, man of the match, Lee. Who gets your verdict? You can name your top 3 if that helps, because it could go to any number of them out there.
I mean, I honestly felt that, you know, today was a real all-round performance from every single player, to be honest, Kate. I genuinely mean that. I mean, even the subs that came on, I highlight, you know, it's a big job and a big ask to come on against one of the top sides. If I had to probably highlight someone, I thought the midfield area was very good. I thought Tielemans, Kamara was very good. And I thought Morgan Rogers, at times when we needed him to take us up the football pitch, he did so. And that relieves a hell of a lot of pressure. But for me, it was every single player that was involved today. I could go around and say, you know what, if I had to pick a man of the match, I'd pick every single one of them. I thought it was a brilliant team squad performance.
I'm not even going to berate you for being diplomatic there, because it's a very fair point. It is completely fair. Do you want to be more specific?
Yeah, I will be, but for 2 points that Lee said, I think that everybody played their part today, and I think everybody was an 8, 9 and 10 out of 10. If you're a sub and you come on, you need to be influencing the game. You need to influence the game when you come on. That's part of being a squad player sometimes if you don't get a start, and I think Lee's already mentioned it. I thought the boys that come on did really. I'd like to see more from Jayden. I think he's still trying to get into it a little bit, and I think hopefully even because of the euphoria of the finish of the game, that might drag him into something even better. But there was only one man of the match today. Youri Tielemans was absolutely unbelievable and should get the man of the match.
Right, lads, thank you so much to the pair of you two for all your time,
Thank
for
you,
your
Kate.
celebrations. I'm glad that your voices have held on as well, for the extra bit of work for you.
Thanks about
on co-coms as well. And again, we'll see you before too long. Enjoy Basel. Enjoy Basel as well if you're heading
thank
over.
you. Yes, I'll have a soft one for everyone.
Good to know. A big thank you to you for watching. Aston Villa up to second in the league, just 3 points off the top. Arsenal were outgunned by Villa, who have fired themselves right into this title race.